I sit around in my pajamas.
So I've been cutting my own hair now for just under 2 years, and somehow it hasn't turned out to be a complete disaster. It's had about 6 months since the last haircut, and I just don't like how it looks. It just looks scraggly. I want it to have a little bit more oomph. So today I'm going to be showing you the organised disaster that is the way that I cut my hair. Once I've soaked the hair and then brushed through it just to make sure that there aren't any knots and I know how everything's hanging, I'm going to start separating it into, not chunks, but sections. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to separate the front part of the hair because I want to give myself not quite a fringe but just a much shorter part at the front. At the moment it's really, really long and there's bits which are just much shorter than they should be, and I don't like how messy it looks. And I just want to try something new, so I'm just going to separate that from the rest of their hair, figure out what I want included in that and what I want to just put with the rest of the hair. And then once that's all done, I'm going to turn that into a little bun, pin that out, and then start separating the hair into other sections. Normally I use facial features just as a guideline of where I want to section out the hair, but the problem is that if I do it from my eyebrows, I'm basically going to take all the top of my hair and cut that much shorter than the bottom, and that's the thickest part of the hair. There's an awful lot of hair there. So instead I decided to kind of use the middle of my forehead as a very, very rough guideline and just take all the hair that was above that, cut that shorter so that I got a few more layers at the back, and so that the top of my head, especially in the summer, just didn't feel so heavy and smothered, and just a little bit more circulation going on. At this point I'm not doing anything too neat, I just want to get that out of the way, and then I'm going to be trimming the bottom. Doesn't need a massive trim, it just needs something short, and this is probably the easiest part and the part I'm least likely to mess up.
I feel too fat to go to the gym, so I sit at home and watch Keep Fit videos. Sometimes I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall, but I just want to change the world in whatever little way I can. Way I can.
For the top part of my hair, I wanted to add some layers so that it would be a lot shorter at the back than it was at the front. I still wanted to be able to tie or at least pin back the hair out of my face if I needed to. So the first thing I did is neaten up the edges. One side wasn't very neat, so I needed to try and get that at least semi-straight. And then at this point, to be perfectly honest, I just looked in the mirror, I thought, yeah, that looks good, and I just started cutting because I figured the worst thing that happens is I just go shorter, and that's really not the end of the world, so that's what I did.
Whatever little way I can, I sit around in my pajamas.
Then I just pinned everything back. I didn't want it to get confused with the hair at the front of my head, separated it down the middle, and then I used the front of my nose as a guideline as not to cut above here, because otherwise I knew the curls were just going to make it go like a corkscrew and just end up sitting in a bunch along my hairline, which is not what I wanted. And then I just cut down along the hair to try and get a little bit of kind of an angle to it, I guess. And then once that was done, I just wanted to see what it looked like. I wasn't happy with the longer pieces on the side. And this is the point where I get to when I'm cutting my hair, where I just decide, nah, I don't like this. So I just start taking chunks and cutting it out. And so far I haven't ended up with anything too horrendous. Though I would like to apologise to any hairdressers watching this. You're probably dying inside, and I'm sorry.
Like I'm banging my head against a brick wall, but I just want to change the world in whatever little way I can. Way I can. Way I can. Way I can. There
And that's the final haircut. I was quite happy with how it looked at the back. Obviously I can't get to the back as easily as I would like, but overall I was pretty happy with it, and it wasn't a complete disaster. And as usual, if you like my videos and want to see more content, feel free to follow me on the mailing list. That way you get everything sent directly to your email, and I'll have a new video for you soon.
Change the world in whatever little